A few days back, one of my viewers had requested me to make a video on the poem Kubla Khan composed by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Dear Mantu, this video is a response to your request. The poem Kubla Khan was written in 1798, but it was not published until 1816. It is one of those three poems which have made Coleridge one of the greatest poets of England. Those three poems are The Rime of the Ancient Mariner Christabel and Kubla Khan. The poem Kubla Khan has dream-like qualities. Kubla Khan is one of the first great visionary poems of Coleridge, which exhibits a phantasmagorical atmosphere. According to the poet, he had composed around 200 to 300 lines of the poem in a dream when he was under the influence of opium. However, the poem could not be fully retrieved afterwards because when he woke up and started writing a few lines, he was interrupted by a visitor. As a result, the poem remained as a fragment. This is why the full title of the poem Kubla Khan is Kubla Khan or a Vision in a Dream, a Fragment. Literary historians usually identify Coleridge as a romantic poet. They group him with William Blake, William Wordsworth, Percy Bysshe Shelley, George Gordon, Lord Byron, and John Keats. The poem Kubla Khan is divided into three irregular stanzas. The first stanza begins with a fanciful description of the origin of Kubla Khan's capital, Xanadu. Kubla Khan ordered a splendid pleasure dome to be built where the sacred river Alf ran underground down to dark sea. Walls and towers enclosed 10 miles of fertile ground. Within these walls were gardens full of fragrant flower trees and old forests encompassing green fields. Kubla Khan's palace was built amid all the beauties of nature. This made it wonderful and fantastic. In the second stanza comes the description of a remarkable, deep, mysterious chasm which goes down the hill covered with the cedar trees. The palace seems savage, but at the same time it also feels holy and enchanted, like the one hunted by a woman wandering about in search of her demon lover in the dim light of a waning moon. The second stanza further describes a mysterious canyon. A geyser erupts from the canyon, throwing rubble into the air and forming the source of the sacred river Alf. From one side of the 10-mile-long palace ran the sacred river Alf. The other side had the beauty of green trees and fields. At one side, a mighty fountain momently was forced, and there were caves of ice too. A sea flowed beneath the palace, and its shadow floated midway on the waves. All this made it a miracle of rare device. The poet finds it difficult to capture the beauty of the palace. To him, it is just like the symphony of a girl's magical song, which he listened to in a dream. The poem is pure romance. It would not be wrong to say that the poet visually creates the painting of the palace of Kubla Khan that ruled Xanadu, while his palace and his beauty rules our hearts. The river wandered through the woods, then reached the caves and dark sea described in the first stanza. Kubla Khan, present amid the eruption, heard a prophecy of war. An indented section presents an image of the pleasure dome reflected on the water, surrounded by the sound of the geyser above the ground and the river underground. A final unindented couplet describes the dome again. The third stanza shifts to the first-person perspective of the poem's speaker. He once saw a woman in a vision playing a dulcimer. If he could revive her song within himself, he says he would revive the pleasure dome itself with music. Those who heard would also see themselves there and carry out a warning. Their warning concerns an alarming male figure. The stanza ends with instructions and a warning to carry out a ritual because he has consumed the food of paradise. Dear readers, it is just a brief summary of the poem Kubla Khan. But this poem is a milestone in English literature for its romanticism and supernaturalism. Kubla Khan is a poem of pure romance. Almost all the romantic elements can be found in the poem. We can see subjectivity, spontaneity, dream quality, sensuousness, imagination, blending of realism and supernaturalism, magical spell, etc. All the romantic associations are concentrated in this short poem. It contains many sensuous phrases and pictures like bright gardens, incense-bearing trees, laden with blossoms, sunny spots of greenery, etc. Then again, the description of the Abyssinian maid is very romantic in character. A damsel with dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was an Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Agora. Supernaturalism is also a romantic quality. Kubla Khan is a supernatural poem based on a dream. There are images and expressions in it which are supernatural in character and create an atmosphere of mystery and awe. For example, caverns measureless to man, a sunless sea, the deep romantic chasm, etc. Kubla Khan is a triumph of supernaturalism. It transports us out of the world of everyday life into a world of wonder and romance. The poem is of a different kind. It is a dream fragment. Like a dream, it has no logical consistency of ideas. It is a procession of images expressed in language of haunting melody. It contains no story, no thought, no moral, no allegory, no symbolism, but it is worth all appreciation for its shadowy vision and haunting music. Thank you very much. The note to this poem can be found in the description box. Thank you.